Uncle Billy, and this is Michael, the nephew of Uncle Billy. Everyone here, obviously, is like us, have lots of stories, and they're all funny. You gotta have a funny story about Uncle Billy. So we've got a couple. Uncle Billy, he was a loving, devoted husband to Auntie Moya, great fun and a good father to Damien and Alice, Zendon, Mark, Barry, and Trish, grandfather to, bear with me, all Irish names, Kayleen, Taylin, Connell, Brennan, Kiva, Dolan, Connor, Aidan, Athleen, Kaylee, Brenna, Ayla, and great-grandpa to little Riley. When Uncle Billy and Aunt Moya came from Ireland, they ended up in London, Ontario, and that's where I'm from. And they bought a store. It was a little grocery store. Best butcher around, great store. And my sisters would always like to go down there after work on a Thursday or Friday and get their groceries. And for once, husbands loved it, because they could sit in the back and have a wee little nip with Uncle Billy. And he also liked his Formula One racing and motorcycle racing. And he loved one horse in particular, and that was Arkle. You have to mention Arkle. Every move Uncle Billy made, Arkle came too. Always. Never let him out of his sight. He also, when he was in London, he had this little Fiat. And this was also the delivery car for the grocery store. It would be so packed with groceries that the back end was dragging on the road with sparks flying out of it. Didn't matter to Uncle Billy, get the groceries delivered. Another time, it was, he got into a little bit of a discussion with my two brothers. Now, they were probably maybe 18 and 16 at the time, about how well this little Fiat never gets stuck in the snow. Never. Well, let's go up to the schoolyard. My mom and dad, their house backed onto the schoolyard. So here's the rest of us, all looking, out the kitchen window to watch this. And here was Billy, Uncle Billy, and my two brothers riding around the field in the Fiat and up and down the big snowbank that the plow had left. Well, it got stuck. Not good. I don't know what year it was, but I moved here to Winnipeg for 10 years. And Auntie Moya and Uncle Billy, they were always the hostess with the mostest. 3 kids, I had 3 little kids. Their kids were small at the time. Just welcome you right in. Beds were, put together, and you had a bed, and you had food in your tummy, and it didn't matter. You were there, and you were welcome, and it just didn't matter. And they helped me out a lot, and I'll always love them for that. Another thing Uncle Billy was really, everyone here knows him, fixing cars and trucks, always under a truck or a car. Well, the rumor has it that on his wedding day, he was seen with a big chain around his neck pulling a motor out of the car before he had to get dressed for the wedding. And I want everyone here to remember his smile, his laugh, that little laugh that tell a joke and then laugh, had his own jokes. And then everybody would laugh. And so just remember that about him and remember your stories. And we're staying at his place now, my daughter and I, and there was a plaque on the wall. And it was a poem, and I just want to read it. It kind of suits today. It's called Time. Too slow for those who wait, too swift for those who fear, too long for those who grieve, too short for those who rejoice, but for those who love, time is eternity.
like to start with one story. Dolores, we were just talking about it. Uncle Billy and Uncle John used to run double together, Uncle Billy and Uncle John used to run double together, and Uncle John had stopped to use the bathroom in the truck stop, and Uncle Billy was sleeping. Uncle Billy got up and used the bathroom beside him, next stall. Uncle John didn't know he was in there, and Uncle Billy didn't know he was in there. And John drove away. And realized Billy wasn't there down the road quite a little ways, and finally found a place to turn around and come back, and Uncle Billy was hitchhiking. It's an old story, and it's one I've never forgotten. So I can get into the part real quick because we don't have much time out here. We're not very good with our rules as Cartys. 6 months of my first trucking job was in Winnipeg, and I stayed with Uncle Billy and Zenda, Barry, and Damien. And there was really never a dull moment there. You know, we had a lot of fun. I actually learned how to drink. Then I worked for quite a few years for my father after, and then I went to work for Uncle Billy, running double, and well, that's where our fun started. You know, we ran double, and there was a lot of jokes. He was always, you know, sneak around the truck and scare me when I got up in the middle of the night, not expecting it, things like that. He got a nickname of Wee Wobbling Willie because I don't know if anybody knows what a wet willie is, but I was sleeping in the bunk one day, and he used to joke around me so much that I put my finger near the vent, and I stuck it in my mouth, and I waited till he was driving, and I shoved it in his ear. He didn't know what was happening. So he told me he was going to get me back, and he actually did. A couple of weeks later, he put his finger in a peanut butter jar. He shoved it in my ear. You know, we had a lot of fun out there. I'll get into the part when I stayed there for a year with them. We did a lot of work with renovations, Damien, you know, ripping walls down, and he had that same Fiat that he had one week. I don't know how anything ever lasted when it took through, but we had, I think, like kind of cement walls, if you want to call it, with the old riblets in it, and we'd filled up a trailer, and we kept on going back and forth to the dump, and we just, you know, it was a lot of work. And one day I went to go leave, I think Damien was with me, and the shocks come right through the back of the car. So I said, okay, let's empty the car out. And then he riveted aluminum all over around the wheel hubs, and we looked like the Beverly Hillbillies going back on the road again. Let's see, phone calls. Well, we all know, I'm sure Gary knows, I'm sure my dad knows, all of Ireland, you know, all the phone calls we got when Uncle Billy was having a few. One in particular was a few months ago, maybe 6 months ago, Uncle Billy called me, and he had a few going, and he didn't realize he wasn't talking to me, he was talking to my voice machine. And he said, I thought you were talking to me, but anyways, I guess you're not talking to me or whatever. And, then he forgot to hang up the phone. Like, the message is probably like 46 minutes long. So, you know, we had a lot of good laughs. I mean, there was somebody to make you laugh at that point. Let's see. Anyways, a few months ago, Damien and I were in Winnipeg and we stuck up around where Barry and Billy had their business, and his truck was backed up to the dock, and Billy had his little pickup nose to it with the door wide open and the pickup running. So we didn't see him, so I snuck into his pickup and I drove around the other side of the yard and hid it behind my truck. And he couldn't see it, and he come out and he's looking. He sees my truck, but he doesn't see me. He's looking at it and he's just walked away. And he went down in his big truck and he started working on it. He's Uncle Billy, you didn't see me. What are you doing over there? You notice anything different here? No. Why are you hiding? I said, well, you don't know if your pickup's gone? What'd you do with it? Well, little things like that. We had a lot of fun. Had a great time in Arlene. Yeah, not that. We went to visit Emily's burial, and I guess there's like 100 feet of bushes there. There's these pesky little bugs. I've never seen them before in my life when I got there. And I was standing, and he said, "Just wait there for a minute." He said, "Okay, come on over here now." He was already up to the gate. No, he was going up to the gate, and he ran his hand along the bushes. And he ran as fast as he could. 79 years old, he was just flying. And all these bugs, they didn't go after him, they all went into me. They ended up in my mouth, they're in my ears, they're stuck to me, they're all in my clothes. And you know, he was standing over, you know, a little laugh, you know. So he was always great for things. He particularly liked to pay me back, you know. I'm not really sure where to go here. You know, his character, he's always making faces, he's laughing, singing songs, never forgetting a word. Nobody can put a song together like that guy and not forget a word. His stories about Ireland, you know, even at 80 years old, he always knew what he was talking about. His funny jokes, you know, still made us laugh no matter what. I like to say I know how deeply he missed Amoya. Most of all, probably was the hardest worker I knew, day and night. And to be honest with you, he took his last breath